Breach, I'm going to start with you because you have been driving the train, in addition to the Joe Burrow train, of Lamar Jackson can't win the big games in January. You're sort of driving. I don't think you care. You usually like to bring up the numbers. He was 1-3 in the playoffs, 4 touchdowns, 7 turnovers in his playoff career. Coming into this game, he had a lot to prove, and I felt like he answered every question, and then he circled back, took the test again, and aced it. 2 touchdowns passing, 2 touchdowns rushing. He took over the game. Any concerns about Joe Burrow? Any concerns about Lamar Jackson being that dude?
I wouldn't say he aced the test. He got like a D.
Oh my God, Breach.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
He got like a D in the first half and then A+ in the second half. Brinson, it was 43 yards passing.
It's in a break. That's right. Go ahead.
Look, here's the thing, is that what defenses have done in the playoffs happened the same thing for the first 2 quarters. Now, credit to the Ravens coaching staff and for Lamar Jackson for getting all of that figured out at halftime and making the correct adjustments. But go on Twitter, go watch the game again, listen to the fans. That everybody in Baltimore was like, oh my God, here we go again at halftime because of how the first half went. This team had 23 passing yards. They went with a Jalen Hurts strategy of let's blitz him every time and see if he can handle it. And he couldn't. They sacked him 3 times. They were in the first half. They were beating up on him. He didn't know what to do. And that's what happened. And then, yes, they did fix it at halftime. But to say that he aced the test, I don't think is the right thing to say because there was so much struggling in the first half. Like, he was awesome in the second half. He was awesome. He won the playoff game. Again, it's survive and advance. That is all that matters.
Survive and advance, they won by 24 points.
It was 10-10 at halftime, Brinson. I'm describing the whole game.
The Texans scored 3 points on offense. And Breach,
that's a defensive thing, not a Lamar Jackson thing, Brinson.
Lamar Jackson ran for 100 yards.
How many of that was at halftime?
Went 16-22 for 152 and 2 touchdowns. Vini, Vide, Vice. A decisive victory for Lamar Jackson in this spot. Everyone, you've been harping on. I was getting tweets all night. People were like, are you going to call Breach out for his Lamar Jackson playoff takes? I was like, yes, I will.
They were correct for a half. The first half was absolutely correct.
Correct for a half?
It looked like every other Brinson, Ravens fans were melting down. Ravens fans were melting down on Twitter because they were saying, here we go again, because the offense couldn't do anything in the first half. Did you not watch the game?
You know it was correct for a half, too? The Falcons winning a Super Bowl.
Hold on. Let me ask you this.
I was correct for 3 quarters.
Hold on. Let me ask Brinson this question, because Breach, you were not wrong. There were some real concerns at halftime when it was 10-10. I was like, oh, the Texans might mess around and hang into this game, and then the second half came and they blew the doors out. Lamar was not good in the first half. They blitzed him 75% of the time.
That's a defensive thing. That's the defense playing great. That's not Lamar.
I mean,
Lamar was awesome in the second half. Like, how could you not admit that their offense was bad in the first half?
I'm sorry. Lamar scored 4 touchdowns. He threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 2 touchdowns. And he ran for 100 yards and threw for 152 and had 6 incompletions. What do you want from Lamar Jackson?
That he
played an A+ game in the second half.
I think that the Ravens' offensive game plan was expecting an aggressive Texans defensive game plan. They started slow. It was a feel them out thing. And they felt him out. They adjusted at halftime, and then they smoked them and put them in the corner. This Ravens team is really good. Lamar Jackson is going to be – it's not going to be – I don't know if it's going to be like I don't know how it works with the 1 through 5 votes, but I mean, like, he's going to be fairly close to unanimous MVP.
I don't think Breach disagrees with the fact that he's going to be MVP.
Yeah, no one disagrees with that.
I think
everyone agrees he'll be MVP.
But I think, hey, hold on. Let me ask you this. I think you can agree that the first half was a lot shaky, not a little shaky, a lot shaky.
I think that DeMeco Ryans and his defense showed up in the first half for sure. Lamar was fine. There was a period where it was shaky. Well, that's not his fault. I mean, the offensive line was getting torched by the Texans D. They were blitzing.
That's somebody's fault.
They beat them by 24 points.
This was an
ass kicking.
I don't disagree with that part. And I think, Breach, you would agree that he has the piano off his back in terms of being legit.
Yes. And I think that's a huge thing also, to get that out of your system, to come out and play this huge second half and say, all right, I can do this in the playoffs. I can win the big games when I need to. That's it. That's all he had to do. And that's what he did. I'm absolutely agreeing that he was awesome, unbelievable in the second half. And that's all I'm saying is that if most Ravens fans at halftime were thinking, oh no, here we go again, I hope they fix this. Lamar Jackson admitted that everybody was cussing at each other at halftime in the locker room. Like, they thought that too. I'm not sure what
it's
the argument
the divisional round. It's not like we're like week 3 here. The Texans had a good game plan.